It is breathtaking and terrifying.
Or am I simply a prisoner who traded a dark alley for a golden cell?
Chapter 6. The Golden Cage. The iron doors of the grand elevator slid open with a soft, mechanical hiss, revealing the penthouse wing of the Rossi Citadel. Elena stepped out onto thick, cream-colored wool carpets that swallowed the sound of her footsteps. Before her lay an expanse of breathtaking luxury. Soaring floor-to-ceiling windows wrapped around the entire floor, offering a panoramic view of the distant, glittering city skyline. Velvet sofas in shades of deep emerald and charcoal sat arranged around a modern black marble fireplace. Sweeping chandeliers crafted from brushed gold and smoked glass glowed softly overhead, casting a warm, romantic light across the vast space that it was a palace fit for royalty. Yet, as Elena looked at the armed guards standing silently at every exit, their faces stone-cold and their hands resting near hidden holsters, she knew the truth. This was not just a palace. It was a gilded cage. "Do you find the accommodations to your liking, Mrs. Rossi?" The voice rolled out from the shadows near the balcony, deep, smooth, and laced with an unmistakable, possessive authority. Elena flinched slightly at the sound of her new title, Mrs. Rossi. The ink on the contract was barely dry, yet the reality of it felt like a heavy iron weight resting against her chest. Dominic stepped out from the dim light, pouring 2 fingers of dark bourbon into a heavy crystal glass. He had discarded his suit jacket, rolling the sleeves of his black dress shirt up to his elbows, revealing strong, corded forearms marked by subtle, dark tattoos. His lethal hazel-green eyes locked onto her instantly. Tracking every micro-expression on her face with unsettling precision, Elena pulled her silk cardigan tighter around her shoulders, her fingers cold and trembling as she met his gaze. "It is breathtaking and terrifying." Dominic took a slow, deliberate step toward her, his dark leather shoes making no sound against the plush carpet. "Fear is a natural reaction when stepping out of the mud and into the fire, little bird." "Is that what this is? A fire?" Elena asked, her raspy voice carrying a fragile edge of defiance. She gestured toward the guards stationed near the doors. "Or am I simply a prisoner who traded a dark alley for a golden cell?" Dominic paused, his expression remaining unreadable, a mask of pure power. He raised his glass to his lips, taking a slow sip before setting it down on a nearby mahogany pedestal. "A prisoner cannot leave," Dominic said softly, his voice dropping an octave into a low baritone that vibrated through the silent room. "Do you, my dear, hold the key to my empire at your fingertips?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek, black metallic card embossed with the gold Rossi crest. He held it out between 2 long fingers. "Unlimited access," Dominic purred, stepping closer until his tall frame shadowed her completely. "Private jet, personal security details, haute couture houses, and unlimited funds. Anything you desire, you claim. Anyone who disrespects you, you destroy." Elena looked down at the black card hovering inches from her chest. Her mind flashed back to the humiliation at Vance Manor. Leo sneering at her, calling her an opportunist, claiming she only wanted his family's money to escape her peasant life. Fresh, hot tears pricked the back of her eyes, blurring her vision. She clenched her hands into fists, refusing to let them fall. "I don't want your money, Dominic," she whispered, her voice cracking under the weight of remembered pain. "Leo thought I was a gold digger. He thought I was worthless because I came from nothing. If I take this, if I live like this, doesn't that prove him right?" A sharp, dangerous flash of anger flickered in Dominic's hazel eyes, not directed at her, but at the ghost of the man who had broken her heart. He closed the remaining distance between them in a heartbeat. His warm, heavy hand reached out, his long fingers gently wrapping around her pale, cold wrist. His touch was firm, inescapable, yet handled her delicate skin with surprising care. "Listen to me very carefully." "Elena," Dominic growled softly, pulling her slightly closer until she could feel the intense heat radiating from his chest. smelling the intoxicating scent of dark tobacco, cedarwood, and rain. Leo Vance is a small man who measures worth by pedigree because he has no true power of his own. He degraded you to make himself feel like a king. He lifted her wrist, bringing her pale hand up between them, forcing her to look down at the contrast between her fragile fingers and his broad, scarred palm. "You are no longer begging for scraps from a boy's table," Dominic murmured, his voice laced with an absolute, terrifying certainty. "You are my wife. Taking my resources is not opportunism, is your birthright. When you spend my fortune, when you wear my diamonds, you are not validating his lies. You are showing him that the girl he threw into the mud now holds his entire world in the palm of her hand." Elena's breath hitched in her throat. She looked up into his fierce, glowing hazel eyes, feeling the raw, overwhelming force of his conviction washing over her broken spirit. "Why are you doing this?" Elena whimpered, a single tear finally escaping and tracing a path down her cheek. "Why give so much power to a woman who is completely broken?" Dominic reached up with his free hand, his leather-clad thumb tenderly wiping the tear from her pale cheek. The softness of the gesture contrasted violently with the lethal aura surrounding him, because a broken blade can be forged into the sharpest sword. "Little bird," Dominic purred against her cheek, his warm breath fanning her skin, making her pulse flutter wildly. "And I intend to watch you cut him to pieces." He gently pressed the black card into her palm, closing her cold fingers around it with his broad, warm hand. "Tomorrow, my team will prepare you for the winter gala," Dominic stated, stepping back slightly, though his intense gaze never left her face. "The entire elite of this city will be present, including Leo Vance and his insufferable family." Elena's heart leaped into her throat, a sudden wave of anxiety washing through her veins. They will be there? They will," Dominic replied, a slow, predatory smile spreading across his handsome, dark features. "And for the first time, Leo Vance will see the woman he discarded, standing at the right hand of the devil himself." Elena squeezed the black card tight in her hand, feeling the sharp, cool edges biting into her palm. The fear inside her chest was still real, but beneath it, a dark, unstoppable fire began to burn. "I won't hide anymore." "Dominic," Elena said, her voice dropping all traces of hesitation. Turning cold as ice, Dominic's eyes flared with dark triumph. "Good girl. Now, rest. The world is about to bow to you, Mrs. Rossi." That's the end of this chapter. The next chapter is coming very soon. Smash that subscribe button right now and drop a comment below so you won't miss the thrilling next plot twist. See you in the next chapter.